Welcome back. Today we're diving into something pretty profound, some ancient wisdom that, honestly, feels like it was written for right now. We're going to unpack Lao Tzu's 4 pillars for a happy life. Ready? Let's get into it.
So, let's start with this big question. What if we've been looking at happiness all wrong? What if it's not something you just stumble upon or find? What if it's something you actually build, like piece by piece, day by day? That's the idea we're going to run with today, using a blueprint that's, believe it or not, been around for a very long time.
And where does this blueprint come from? Well, it comes from Lao Tzu, the legendary figure who founded Taoism. We're talking about wisdom from the Tao Te Ching that's been guiding people for something like 2,500 years. His whole thing was that the secret to a fulfilled life is learning to live in harmony with the flow of the universe, what he called the Tao, or the Way.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with a look at this timeless guide to happiness. Then we'll tackle each of the 4 pillars: mastering resources, nurturing relationships, the art of self-development, and the practice of self-maintenance. And at the end, we'll pull it all together to see how you can build your own balanced life.
Okay, so for Lao Tzu, real lasting happiness wasn't about just one thing. It was about getting a handle on these 4 core areas of life. And crucially, he didn't see them as a checklist of separate jobs. Nope, he saw them as all woven together, creating one whole, harmonious life. So let's dive into that first pillar.
All right, pillar number 1, mastering resources. Now, before you think this is all about money, it's not. It's so much bigger than that. I love this quote. Heaven's way is like stretching a bow. Think about that for a second. If you pull a bowstring too tight, what happens? It snaps. If it's too loose, the arrow goes nowhere. It's completely useless. That's what Lao Tzu is saying about our lives. It's all about finding that sweet spot, that perfect, functional balance.
So, let's get clear on what resource means here. Forget just money. We're talking about everything, literally everything you use to get through life. It's your physical energy, the roof over your head, your brain power, your specific skills and talents. It's your entire personal toolkit for well-being.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? Heaven's way, the ideal path, is all about balance. You notice something is low, you fill it up. You see something is over the top, you trim it back. But then there's people's way, which is what most of us tend to do. We just keep pouring more and more into what's already full, and we drain what's already nearly empty. It's a recipe for creating a massive imbalance in our lives.
Think about it in a super practical way. Let's say you're amazing at your job. So you pour all your time, all your smarts, all your talent into it, and you're getting promotions, you're killing it. But you're not sleeping, you're eating junk, you haven't exercised in months. You are pouring energy into the excess, your career, while draining the deficient, your health. And what's the inevitable result? Burnout, total exhaustion, stress. You gotta see these resources like the legs of a table. If one gets too short, the whole thing gets wobbly.
Okay, so that's resources. Now, let's move on to pillar number 2, which shifts our focus from our internal world to the world outside, specifically our relationships with others.
At first glance, this sounds like a total paradox, right? The more he gives, the more he receives. But it's this really deep insight into how generosity actually works. The idea here is that what you put out there, it comes back. It's almost like a law of nature. When you give your support, your time, your energy to people, you aren't emptying your own tank. You're actually making your own life richer and fuller in the process.
And get this, modern science is totally backing him up on this. There's this famous Harvard study. It's been going on for decades. And they found that the number one thing, the single strongest predictor of a happy, healthy life into old age, wasn't money, it wasn't fame, it was the quality of your relationships. How amazing is that? Lao Tzu was talking about this 2.5 millennia ago.
So, okay, how do we actually do this? The Taoist way is incredibly practical. First, make it a point to support the people in your life, every single day. Second, if you've messed up, if you've hurt someone, own it, apologize. And third, and man, this one can be tough, learn to forgive people who have hurt you. And you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself to let go of that toxic baggage.
All right, so we've looked at our resources and we've looked at our relationships. Pillar number 3 turns the camera back on ourselves. This is all about the art of self-development. Now this This is a total mind bender. Think about how we normally react to criticism. We get defensive, right? We get angry. But Lao Tzu says, the truly wise person sees someone who points out their flaws as their greatest teacher. It's a complete flip. Instead of seeing criticism as an attack, you see it as a gift. It's like someone handing you a personalized map showing you exactly where you can improve.
So this really boils down to 2 key tests for yourself. Test number 1, can you admit when you're wrong and then actually do something to fix it? And test number 2, can you hear criticism without blowing up and instead actually learn from it? And this part is so important. You have to remember that your mistakes aren't you. They don't define who you are. They're just little markers on the road pointing out where you are on your journey.
And here's the how-to. It's a super simple evening routine. Just take 5 minutes. Think back on your day. Jot down any mistakes you made, note any criticism you got, and here's the key. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just ask, okay, what's one small thing I can do tomorrow to improve? Then make a little plan and just try to get a tiny bit better each day.
And that brings us to our 4th and final pillar, self-maintenance. Think of it this way. If your life is a journey, this pillar is all about taking care of the car. It's about maintaining your body and your energy.
This quote is just so powerful. Lao Tzu is basically saying that all responsibility starts at home, inside your own skin. If you can't even be trusted to take care of your own body, your own well-being, how can you possibly be trusted with anything bigger? Like your family, your community, your work? It all has to start with you.
And a huge part of self-maintenance is about balancing 2 kinds of energy, yin and yang. So yang is that go, go, go energy. It's action, it's hustle, it's challenge. Yin is the opposite. It's rest, recovery, quiet time. Now, if you're all yang all the time, you're going to burn out, guaranteed. But if you're all yin, you become lazy, stagnant. The magic, as always, is in the balance between the 2. So how do you find that balance? The Taoists have this incredible concept for it called Wu Wei. It translates to something like effortless action. You know that feeling when you're in the zone, when you're in flow, and things just seem to happen without you forcing them? That's Wu Wei. And you get there by making sure that for every period of intense yang work, you intentionally schedule periods of real yin rest. We're talking meditation, a walk in nature, qigong, whatever truly recharges you. Okay, so we've got all 4 pillars on the table: resources, relationships, self-development, and self-maintenance. Now let's put them all together and see what the finished building looks like.
I think this metaphor is just perfect. Picture your life as a cart, and these 4 pillars we talked about, they're the 4 wheels. Now what happens if one of those wheels is flat, or wobbly, or just breaks off? The whole ride gets rough, right? It's a struggle. You can't go very fast, and it's exhausting. But when all 4 wheels are solid and balanced and working together, the whole cart just glides forward smoothly. The journey becomes a joy.
So that brings us right back to you. I want you to really think about this for a second. Look at those 4 pillars, those 4 wheels on your cart. Your resources, your relationships, your self-development, your self-maintenance. Which one of those, right now, today, needs a little bit of attention? Which one needs some air in the tire? Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Happiness isn't some destination you arrive at. It's the structure you build every single day, 1 pillar at a time.